That's fatal.
How's it going, everyone? In today's video, we got some exciting stuff. We got some more updated superstars, we got some hidden models, and we got some DLC news. But before we get into the first updated superstar, just some things to note. The action figure John Cena cannot be duplicated, which means that it's most likely not going to be able to be uploaded to the community creations, unfortunately, because I really wanted that one. And so it's causing issues. If there ever is a workaround, status will keep us updated. Pat McAfee does have a slot, but the model is not there, so it can't be uploaded. Essentially saying that Pat McAfee has a slot in game that he was slated to be like DLC or something like that, or maybe even on the main roster, but something happened and he got removed. So his slot is still there, but there is no model in that slot, so he cannot be uploaded. When editing a superstar in game, status and Joe mashups can only add on to that superstar. They cannot remove hair or beard. So for example, like if you want someone with a beard to have no beard, they cannot do that. They can only add on to the superstar. So just take note of that. And finally, there is a My Faction, My Rise block on some of the hidden models, and Status is trying to figure out a way to bypass that, and he will be trying his best. Essentially, what he's saying is that there's no more content damage error, but now they have like this My Rise and My Faction like block on the hidden models, so that whenever you upload them to the community creations, if you try and download them, it's going to say that you have to unlock them in My Rise or My Faction, even though you probably can't unlock them in My Rise or My Faction, essentially. So that's 2K's way of preventing us from downloading these hidden models from My Faction and My Rise. But knowing Status, he will figure out a workaround, and obviously I will keep you guys updated. So that right there is a little update from Status, but some more things to take note of. Some of these models I'm showing in this video can be alt attires. You just have to figure out which one it is. Just play around with each one, switch it to alt attire, see if it's an actual alt. If it's not, then it can't be an alt attire, and you got to keep it separate. All of Statuses can be alt attires, majority of Joe mashups can be alt attires, and none of Relics downloads can be alt attires. So only Statuses, some of Joe mashups, none of Relics. With that being said, let's get into the video. The first superstar we have is Mick Foley 01, his hidden My GM model. Now, I already covered this Mick Foley My GM model, but this right here is his updated version. He has fixed hair as well as a long hair version. I'm showcasing the long hair version, but when you download this Mick Foley, you get two attires, one with his short hair and then one with his long hair. The hashtags for this Mick Foley is a Mick hidden again, and it's uploaded by What's the Status. The hashtag for you to search will be on the bottom of the screen in big text. You should not be able to miss it. So if you want Mick Foley's My GM model with updated hair or long hair, here you go. I personally downloaded this one and I replaced it with the original one that I downloaded. At number 2, we got Corporate Kane by Relic Rain. So like I said, any of Relic's downloads, you cannot make alt attires, so you have to keep them as separate superstars. To download this one, use the hashtags Mayor, Knoxville, or Kane. And it's pretty much Kane in-game edited to have his hair and his mask removed so that it looks like Corporate Kane. Next up, we have an updated Edge by Joe Mashups. Joe Mashups fixed up his beard a little bit as well as updated his hair so it looks more up to date. The Edge we got in-game looked fine, but it wasn't really up to date to how Edge's hair and beard looks now. So Joe Mashups fixed that, and now Edge has an updated beard and hair. To download this Edge, use hashtags Joe Mashups. Next up, we have The Rock, and this is a really cool one. This is actually my favorite one out of the bunch, and it is The Rock with his updated tattoo on his official in-game model. Yeah, you remember from 2K23, we had those really good Rock creator wrestlers with his updated tattoo, but they weren't his actual model. Well, this time, it's his actual model with his updated Rock tattoo. This was uploaded by Joe Mashups. Use the hashtag Joe Mashups. Unfortunately, this one cannot be an alt to The Rock. I tried it myself, it didn't work, so you have to keep this one separately, but it's The Rock with his updated tattoo on the actual model, and it looks great. Next up, Joe Mashups updated JC Jane's makeup. So if you want to download JC Jane with her updated makeup, go ahead and use the hashtag Joe Mashups. And it's pretty much just an update with her makeup. I think this one can be an alt to JC Jane, so just switch it to an alt and it should work. Next up, we have Baron Corbin by Relic Rain. Use hashtags Lone Wolf or Happy Corbin. This right here is Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. It's Baron Corbin with hair added to him and his Lone Wolf Baron Corbin attire. And again, unfortunately, because it was uploaded by Relic, it cannot be an alt attire. But if down the line there's a Baron Corbin that's like uploaded by What's the Status or Joe Mashups, I will keep you guys updated on which one can be alt attire or not. Next up, we got a hidden model, and that is Becky Lynch 19, uploaded by What's the Status. Use hashtag BeckyRetro19. And this is a different Becky Lynch model. We had this model in 2K22, so I'm glad to see it in 2K23 because the Becky Lynch we have in game is completely outdated. It's probably the most outdated model in the whole game. So I'm glad we have this Becky Lynch, you know, to have two of them at least. This Becky Lynch can be an alt attire to Becky Lynch in game if you want to keep them together. If you want to keep them separate, you can. I personally kept them separate, but I'm really glad we have this Becky Lynch in the game too. Next up, we have Shelton Benjamin Golden Standard by Relic Rain. Use hashtag Gold Standard or Shelton Benjamin. This Shelton Benjamin Golden Standard cannot be an alt attire to Shelton Benjamin in games, so you do have to keep it a separate model. Again, if there's a different one uploaded that can be an alt, I will keep you guys updated. But I saw someone in the comments on Twitter wanting a Golden Standard Shelton Benjamin. Well, here you go. Next up by Joe Mashups, we got an updated Roman Reigns beard. Pretty much is what it is. It's an updated Roman Reigns beard because Roman Reigns' beard in game kind of looked weird. It was a little too slim. This one makes it more, bushy, and it adds some of the gray hair into it, which is perfect. Use hashtag Joe Mashups to download this Roman Reigns, and yes, this Roman Reigns can be an alt attire to Roman Reigns in-game. Joe Mashups also uploaded a Randy Orton retro pack, which with 4 different Randy Ortons to be an alt attire to Randy Orton 09 in-game. Use hashtag Joe Mashups. This Randy Orton retro pack comes with 4 different Randy Ortons in each attire slot, and here's all 4 of them on the screen so you can see how they look like. So you can pick and choose which one you want to keep, which one you want to delete, or you want to keep all 4 of them. Go ahead. Next up, uploaded by Relic Rain, we have Dolph Ziggler, his NXT version where he's bearded. Use hashtag NXT bearded and Dolph Ziggler. Now, unfortunately, out of all the updates, I think this one here kind of looks like the worst. I can see what Relic was trying to do with this, but I think he should have used a different beard as well as changed the coloring on the beard, because I don't think it was this brunette. I think it was more like a blonde. But I see what Relic was trying to do with this, and if there is a different version of this Dolph Ziggler that gets uploaded, I will keep you guys updated and let you know when that one's up. But in the meantime, this is the only one we have on the community creations. Next up, we have another hidden model, and that is Oscar18. Use hashtag OscarWM Hidden. It is uploaded by What's the Status, and if you guys want Kana-chan, well, here you go. This Oscar has no face paint. This was a hidden model from 2K22, so again, I'm glad to see it in 2K23. I saw some comments asking for Kana-chan Oscar, and here you go, Oscar18 on the community creations. And finally, we have Oscar23 uploaded What's the Status. Use hashtag Oscar23Paint. And this is Oscar with her Kana makeup. On the actual model, she looks absolutely amazing. In 2K22, we had some really spot on Kana creator wrestlers that could be automatic alts to their in-game counterpart. Well, in 2K23, it's the actual Oscar model, so it looks spot on. What's the Status killed it with this one. And yes, it can be an alt attire to Oscar in-game, so you can go ahead and make an alt attire, and then you have 2 different Oscars. You have the Oscar in-game, and then you have Kana Oscar as a second attire. I teased this in the last video. It's finally up, so hope you guys enjoy. Go ahead and download Kana Oscar by What's the Status. So that right there were all the updated models and the hidden models for you guys to download. Now let's move on to some DLC news. All the overalls for the DLC Superstars has been data mined. Now these most likely are placeholders and are subject to change, but if not, these are what the overalls are going to be. The first one is the Steiner Row Pack. Ashanti Adonis is going to be an 81. B-Fab is going to be a 78. Rick Steiner is going to be a 90. Scott Steiner is going to be a 91. Top Dollar is going to be 78. For the Pretty Sweet Pack, Carl Anderson is going to be an 83. Luke Gallows is going to be an 84. Tiffany Stratton is going to be an 82. Elton Prince is going to be an 83. And Kit Wilson is going to be an 83. For the Race to NXT Pack, Harley Race is going to be a 93. Ivy Nile is going to be a 76. Wendy Chu is going to be a 78. Tony D'Angelo is going to be a 79. And Trick Williams is going to be an 80. For the Revel with Wyatt Pack, Bray Wyatt is going to be an 89. Zeus is going to be an 87. Valhalla is going to be a 70. Joe Gacy is going to be 82. And Blair Davenport is going to be a 74. And for the Bad News U Pack, Eve Torres is going to be an 85. Wade Barrett is going to be an 85. Damon Kemp is going to be a 75. Andre Chase is going to be 81. And Nathan Frazier is going to be a 76. So that right there are the current overalls for the DLC Superstars. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about it. Do you agree with them? Are you going to change any of them? Did some of them get robbed? Let me know in the comment section down below. And finally, when it comes to the DLC, there were 2 placeholder renders for Tiffany Stratton as well as Wendy Chu. The first one is Wendy Chu's render. I think this render looks great, but it can be subject to change. And the second one is Tiffany Stratton's render. Now, a lot of people in the replies are not a fan of the braids being used in the render, so this one here could probably be changed. But if it's not, this is Tiffany Stratton's render right here. Let me know what you guys think about both renders as well as the overalls in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed all the superstars I showcased. Be sure to give the video a like, subscribe, notifications on, and I'll catch you in the next video. Fiddle Steven out. Peace.